Most people think kidney damage comes from years of bad eating, medications, or serious illness. But what if the real danger is something much smaller? Something you may already be using in your kitchen. Something that feels harmless, even healthy. Your kidneys work quietly every second of the day. They filter toxins, balance minerals, and clean your blood without asking for attention. And because they are silent organs, damage often begins long before pain shows up. At first you feel normal, maybe a little more tired, maybe your sleep feels lighter, maybe your body holds onto water by the evening. Nothing alarming, nothing that sends you running to a doctor. But inside, pressure is building. Waste is lingering longer than it should. Filters are under stress. And the first thing you consume each day can either calm that stress or multiply it. This is where the danger hides. Because many people unknowingly overload their kidneys before breakfast, not with junk food, not with alcohol, but with something they believe is helping them, a spice that is praised, recommended, and used daily across the world. When used the wrong way, it quietly increases kidney strain. But when used correctly, at the right time, in the right amount, it can do the opposite. It can help flush toxins, improve circulation through kidney tissue, and support natural filtration. Today, you're going to learn how this one spice can either harm or help your kidneys, and why timing matters more than most people realize. This isn't about extremes. It's about understanding what your body can handle when it first wakes up. Overnight, your kidneys work non-stop. While you sleep, they concentrate urine, recycle fluids, and clear waste without any new water coming in. By morning, your body is slightly dehydrated. Your blood is thicker. Toxins are more concentrated. This is the most sensitive moment of the day for your kidneys. What you introduce into your system at this time sets the tone for the next 12 hours. Some substances immediately increase blood flow and reduce oxidative stress. Others force the kidneys to work harder before they've had a chance to recover. The spice we're talking about today sits right at that crossroads. Used properly, it acts like a gentle wake-up call for your filtration system. Used carelessly, it becomes a silent burden. The reason this matters is because kidney damage does not happen in a single dramatic moment. It builds slowly from small daily habits that feel insignificant. A pinch here, a spoon there, a morning routine repeated for years. And because the effects are delayed, people never connect the habit to the outcome. They only see the lab numbers change later and wonder why. The spice itself is powerful. It interacts with blood vessels, inflammation pathways, and antioxidant systems. Researchers have studied its effects on circulation, insulin sensitivity, and detox enzymes. But what most people never hear is how it affects kidney workload when consumed on an empty stomach. In some cases, it increases urine flow and helps move waste out faster. In other cases, it spikes certain compounds that kidneys must filter immediately, increasing strain. The difference comes down to preparation, dose, and timing. And this is where almost everyone gets it wrong. They copy what they hear online without understanding their own body. They assume more is better. They assume if it's natural, it's always safe. But kidneys don't respond to trends. They respond to chemistry. This spice can increase circulation through tiny kidney vessels, which helps filtration. It can also reduce low-grade inflammation that damages delicate filters over time. That's the good side. But it can also increase oxalate load and stimulate detox pathways too aggressively if taken incorrectly. That's the hidden risk, especially for people over 50, people with borderline creatinine levels, or anyone who wakes up dehydrated. The goal is not to shock your system awake. The goal is to support it gently. When used the right way, this spice helps the kidneys flush waste without forcing them. It encourages smoother blood flow, reduces oxidative stress, and supports natural detox without pressure. When used the wrong way, it does the opposite quietly. That's why today is important. Because you don't need to remove this spice from your life. You need to understand it. You need to know when to use it, how much to use, and what to pair it with so your kidneys benefit instead of struggle. In the next part, I'll reveal the spice itself and explain exactly how it works inside your kidneys, why morning use changes everything, and what most people miss when they follow popular advice. This knowledge alone can shift the direction of your kidney health over time without expensive supplements or extreme changes. The spice is turmeric. Most people know it as the bright yellow powder used in cooking. Many people also know it as a so-called super spice, praised for fighting inflammation, supporting joints, and boosting immunity. Because of that reputation, turmeric has quietly found its way into morning routines everywhere. Mixed into warm water, added to tea, swallowed as capsules, taken on an empty stomach first thing in the morning, and this is where the story changes. Turmeric is powerful, but power without understanding is where problems begin. Inside turmeric is a compound called curcumin. Curcumin is responsible for most of turmeric's benefits. It reduces inflammation, improves blood flow, and acts as a strong antioxidant. These effects can be incredibly helpful for the kidneys when used correctly. Reduced inflammation means less damage to delicate filtering units. Better blood flow means oxygen and nutrients reach kidney tissue more easily. Antioxidant protection means fewer free radicals harming kidney cells. All of that sounds positive. And it is. But there is another side that almost nobody talks about. Turmeric is also naturally high in oxalates. Oxalates are compounds that the kidneys must filter and remove through urine. In small amounts, this is not a problem. But when oxalates build up, they can bind with minerals like calcium and form crystals. Over time, these crystals can contribute to kidney stones and increase irritation inside the urinary system. For people who already have stressed kidneys, this extra workload matters. The risk increases even more when turmeric is taken first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. Remember, when you wake up, your body is dehydrated. Your urine is concentrated. Your kidneys have been working all night without new fluids. Introducing a high oxalate load at that moment forces your kidneys to process and excrete these compounds immediately without the dilution that water normally provides. This is where people unknowingly increase kidney strain. They think they are doing something healthy. They feel proactive. But the timing creates pressure instead of relief. This does not mean turmeric is bad. It means turmeric must be used intelligently. When used properly, turmeric can actually help the kidneys flush toxins more efficiently. The key is how you prepare it and what you combine it with. Turmeric on its own is poorly absorbed. That's why many supplements include black pepper. Black pepper contains piperine, which increases curcumin absorption dramatically. This is beneficial, but it also means more active compounds enter the bloodstream quickly. Again, timing matters. If this combination hits your system when you are dehydrated, the kidneys feel it immediately. Used later in the day, with food and fluids, the same combination can be supportive instead of stressful. Another critical factor is dose. Many people assume a full teaspoon or large capsule is necessary to get benefits. In reality, smaller amounts used consistently are far more kidney-friendly. Your kidneys prefer steady, manageable inputs, rather than sudden spikes. A pinch used correctly does more good than a large dose taken carelessly. Turmeric also stimulates bile flow and detox enzymes in the liver. This can be helpful, but it also increases the amount of waste products entering the bloodstream for removal. That waste eventually passes through the kidneys. If the kidneys are already under pressure, pushing detox too aggressively can backfire. This is why some people notice discomfort, darker urine, or changes in how they feel when they suddenly start turmeric routines. The body is not reacting badly to turmeric itself, it is reacting to the timing and load. For people over 50, this becomes even more important. Kidney filtration naturally slows with age. Blood vessels stiffen slightly. Recovery time increases. What your body tolerated at 30 may feel very different at 60. This is not weakness. It is normal physiology. Respecting that difference is what protects long-term health. When turmeric is used correctly, it can support kidney health in a very real way. It reduces low-grade inflammation that slowly damages filtering units. It improves circulation through tiny kidney blood vessels. It helps stabilize blood sugar, which protects the delicate vessels that feed the kidneys. It even supports the immune system, lowering the risk of infections that can travel upward and stress the kidneys. The mistake is not turmeric. The mistake is copying advice without context. Morning turmeric cleanses promoted online rarely mention hydration, pairing, or dose. They rarely mention oxalates. They rarely mention age or kidney status. They focus on quick benefits and ignore long-term strain. What your kidneys need is balance. They need support without shock. They need dilution, not concentration. They need consistency, not extremes. In the next part, you'll learn exactly how to use turmeric in a kidney-safe way that actually helps flush toxins instead of adding stress. You'll learn the right timing, the right preparation, and the simple addition that changes everything. This small adjustment can turn a risky habit into a protective one and give your kidneys the support they've been quietly asking for. Here is how to use turmeric in a way that actually supports your kidneys instead of stressing them. The first rule is hydration comes first. Before turmeric ever touches your system, your body needs water. This single step changes how your kidneys respond. Drinking a full glass of plain water shortly after waking helps dilute concentrated urine, loosen waste, and gently restart filtration. This gives your kidneys breathing room. Once hydration is in place, turmeric no longer arrives as a concentrated burden. It arrives as a manageable input. The second rule is never take turmeric completely alone. Turmeric should always be paired with something that slows absorption and reduces sharp spikes. This can be a small amount of healthy fat or food, a few sips of warm milk, a spoon of yogurt, or even a light breakfast is enough. This slows how quickly curcumin enters the bloodstream and reduces sudden filtration demand. It also protects the stomach lining, which indirectly supports kidney balance by reducing stress hormones. The third rule is dose control. For kidney support, more is not better. A small pinch of turmeric powder is enough. This is far less than most people use. The goal is to provide gentle anti-inflammatory support, not forced detox. When taken daily in small amounts, turmeric builds protective effects over time without overwhelming your system. Think of it as training your kidneys to work more smoothly, not pushing them harder. The fourth rule is timing. Morning is not wrong, but it must be done correctly. Turmeric should never be the very first thing after waking. Water comes first, then food or a light base, then turmeric. Alternatively, turmeric can be taken later in the day, such as mid-morning or early afternoon, when hydration levels are stable and digestion is active. Many people actually tolerate turmeric better at this time. Their kidneys are already filtering smoothly, and the added compounds are processed with less strain. Another important factor is black pepper. While black pepper increases absorption, it also increases intensity. For people with sensitive kidneys or a history of stones, using a very small amount or skipping black pepper entirely may be wiser. Absorption does not need to be maximized to be beneficial. Steady exposure matters more than peak levels. This is especially true for long-term kidney protection. You can also modify turmeric's effect by adding lemon or ginger. Lemon supports urine alkalinity and hydration. Ginger improves digestion and circulation without increasing oxalate load. Together, these additions create a more balanced environment for the kidneys. A simple option is warm water with a pinch of turmeric and fresh ginger, taken after hydration and food. This combination supports circulation, reduces inflammation, and encourages gentle flushing without pressure. What about turmeric supplements? This is where caution is needed. Capsules often contain concentrated extracts with very high curcumin levels. They are designed for joint pain or inflammation, not kidney sensitivity. For people with kidney concerns, these concentrated doses can increase oxalate load and filtration stress. Whole turmeric powder is gentler and easier for the body to regulate. If supplements are used, they should only be taken under guidance and never on an empty stomach. Your kidneys also respond to consistency. Using turmeric occasionally in large doses does not help. Using it regularly in small, controlled amounts does. This allows the anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects to build without triggering defense responses. Over weeks and months, this can reduce oxidative damage inside kidney tissue and support smoother filtration. It is also important to listen to your body. Signs that turmeric is too much include darker urine, discomfort in the lower back, digestive upset, or unusual fatigue. These are signals to reduce dose or adjust timing, not push through. Your kidneys communicate quietly, but they do communicate. Respecting those signals protects them long term. Another overlooked benefit of proper turmeric use is blood sugar stability. Curcumin helps improve insulin sensitivity. Stable blood sugar protects the tiny blood vessels that feed the kidneys. Over time, this reduces wear and tear on filtration units. This is especially important for people with prediabetes or fluctuating glucose levels. Supporting blood sugar indirectly protects kidney function. Turmeric also influences inflammation throughout the body. Chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the silent drivers of kidney decline. It damages vessels, stiffens tissue, and reduces recovery. By calming these pathways gently, turmeric helps preserve kidney resilience. But again, the word is gently. Aggressive anti-inflammatory approaches often backfire. Gentle support sustains function. When used correctly, turmeric becomes a tool rather than a threat. It helps your kidneys do what they already do, only more efficiently and with less stress. It does not force detox, it supports natural processes. This is why understanding matters more than trends. In the final part, we will connect everything together. You'll see how one small adjustment in how you use turmeric can change its impact entirely. You'll also learn who should be cautious, who benefits most, and how this single habit fits into a bigger picture of kidney protection. When you look at kidney health over a lifetime, the biggest changes rarely come from dramatic interventions. They come from small daily decisions that quietly compound. Turmeric is one of those decisions. Used blindly, it adds stress at the worst possible time. Used with awareness, it becomes supportive instead of demanding. That contrast is what matters. Kidney damage does not announce itself. It accumulates silently when filtration is repeatedly pushed beyond comfort. Protection works the same way. Small reductions in daily strain give the kidneys space to recover, adapt, and function smoothly for longer. The most important takeaway is this: your kidneys do not need aggressive cleansing, they need gentle cooperation. Hydration first, then nourishment, then support. When turmeric follows that order, it fits naturally into the body's rhythm. When it breaks that order, it competes with recovery. This is why so many people feel confused by conflicting advice. They try the same habit and get different results because timing and preparation were never explained. There are people who should be extra cautious. Anyone with a history of kidney stones, elevated oxalate levels, or advanced kidney disease should approach turmeric conservatively. Smaller amounts, less frequent use, or medical guidance are essential. This is not fear. This is respect for individual physiology. What supports one person may burden another. Listening to that truth prevents long-term harm. For many others, especially those noticing early warning signs like fatigue, swelling, or shifting lab numbers, proper turmeric use can be one small step towards stability. It does not replace medical care. It does not reverse damage overnight. What it does is reduce unnecessary inflammation, support circulation, and lower daily workload on delicate filters. Over time, that matters more than quick fixes. Think of your kidneys as workers who never clock out. They respond best when conditions are predictable and calm. Sudden surges, concentrated compounds, and dehydration make their job harder. Consistency, dilution, and balance make it easier. This is why the same spice can be both helpful and harmful depending on how it is used. You don't need to change everything tomorrow. Start with awareness. Notice what you do first thing in the morning. Notice how your body feels. Adjust one habit instead of adding 10 new ones. Kidney protection is not about perfection. It is about direction. When you support your kidneys gently, They support you quietly in return. Better energy, steadier fluid balance, and a body that feels less burdened from the inside out. Small changes, repeated daily, shape long-term health more than any single trend ever will. This understanding empowers you to choose habits that align with your body's needs, protect vital organs, and create a calmer internal environment that supports aging with strength, clarity, and confidence daily naturally.